Marlena Spivey. I'm a resident of Georgia, and I am a Christian. I think the feminist movement is just, I think it's something that has to do with pride and the woman's stance, but it is unbiblical from the aspect of where I see it. And out of looking through the scriptures and biblical wise, I don't see a need for it. That's my perspective on it. Well, I can speak from the American standpoint that a lot of the things on television influence our culture. It's a lot of things that really demean men, and they try to feminize men to make them as though they are not men, as though they wear dresses, and a lot of movies and things, they put men in dresses and lipstick, stockings and things like that, wigs, they cross dress and things like that, and it puts women in the stance of who am I going to look toward? So I think a lot of the reason is because of what the culture is taking in, what they're taking in, what they watch on TV, what they experience in real life. I think that it plays a big part in how men are perceived by women. And when a woman can't feel that they can confide in a man for even spiritual support or physical support, then they feel as though, why would I need one? It's just as though I'm having a woman. So if they don't feel like a man can be strong or courageous, then they definitely feel the need to step up. And sometimes it can be overpowering. Well, I can say what it's not. I can say what it's not. I can basically say that if I were to try to be a domineering person or try to take charge and say, I'll just forget about this whole, okay, I'm a wife, I need to be at home, let me take my thoughts and my beliefs outside of the household. Now, when I do that, my husband now loses his place, and not only that, it's an affront to God, because his role for the man in the household and his role for the woman in the household are defined clearly in the Bible. Going back to Genesis, is defined clearly in the Bible, our roles. Now, if it were to be that I would take this turn, I say turn for the worse, God would not bless that. God would not bless me going outside the household or treating my husband a certain way that is not godly. It has a lot to do with a woman's pride, and pride is not really a good thing at all. It's okay to be confident in some things that you do, but the male has the role. That's just how God ordained it. They should consider if God is godly. But first of all, before considering that this man is godly, they need to consider themselves if they are godly. They should do a thorough self-examination, not just saying they love God and not doing what the Bible tells them to do, which is wait on the man that God provides for you. And not only that, they need to pay attention to the man, and if that man is strong and courageous, and if they truly love the Lord, if they truly are loving the Lord, if they say they do, and if they actually do it. I'm pro-life. I can say I'm pro-life, but I really am pro-life. I'm for life. Anything that has to do with killing, whether it's a goldfish, to eat, it's kind of. But I eat fish. But when it comes to the life and human beings, period, I think ending a life early for no medical reason at all, I think that's just wrong. Even then, a mother should still sacrifice their life for the child. Sometimes people get these silly notions that, I'm gonna die. Oh no, this baby gotta come out then. If that's the case, if it means your life, then why not sacrifice your life for someone? I mean, Jesus died for us, so I mean, I'm not okay with the whole abortion thing. I don't even know what would be a valid reason to abort a child. I don't know of any valid reason. I don't care if the child comes up in poverty. The child could be, taken out of that home and put in a place where the child can be taken care of. There's always assistance with that type of thing. Some people say, oh, well, I'm too good to be put on government assistance and things like that. Well, what is it that you want? It has something to do with your pride. It has something to do with that. And if your reason for that, just remember that you have to answer. You have to stand before God because of that reason. Whatever that reason is, whatever you think is okay, is not okay. And if you look in the Bible, it's not okay. I mean, you might as well be like a heathen, or you might as well be like an idolatress or an idolater to say, okay, let's kill a baby. It's not okay. Well, the biblical perspective on that about a child being a fetus before it comes out and not an actual human being is Jesus entered the room. Jesus' mother entered the room, and John the Baptist was in his mother's stomach, and he leaped in his mother's womb, Elizabeth. He leaped when he heard the greeting of Mary, the mother of Jesus, speaking, because he knew that his Savior was in the room, in her stomach already. So that is ridiculous. It is still life. That child is still made in the image of God. It is still a child, regardless of if it comes out premature 2 weeks. Even if a child comes out 2 weeks after, it's still fully made. It's still fully, it's a human being. That's just like saying, well, I had a preemie. It came out, 6 weeks. It came out 2 pounds, 8 ounces. It was small. This isn't a real baby. That's like, what? That's ridiculous. What if we would have said it about Jesus? What if Mary said, oh no, Joseph not going to accept this. We got to terminate this pregnancy. That's ridiculous. Come on. That's ridiculous. A child is a child is a child. God made that child for a reason. And it wasn't to get an abortion. So that's my view on that. Well, I am a mother. I'm a mother of a 4-year-old, and it is a formidable task raising a child. My thoughts on that are that a mother and a father, and where the mother or father lack, God places, that person back into the picture. But your only goal as a mother, and if you keep it in mind, and if you love the Lord, if you keep it in mind, then your goal, nothing more, everything, your whole perspective should be disciplining that child in the instruction of the Lord. That's it. So if you keep that in mind, that a child is going through these little bitty phases, let's say when they turn about 7, or even earlier than that. Like my daughter, she already reads. My daughter is 4 years old. She reads thoroughly. She's been reading since she's about 3 years old. So I tell her about Jesus. I start putting it in her mind about Jesus. I start telling her, oh, look at the trees. Do you know who made these trees? And she'll say, yes, God made these trees. Or I'll tell her, oh, look at this water. You know who made this water? Do you know who made mommy and who made daddy? So that's why I'll ask her. I'll ask her those questions even before she reads the Bible too. She's read the Bible, but I'll ask her those questions to get her familiar with who made the stars, who made the moon. But you have to keep doing it. A child is a sponge. They don't get bored like adults do. Not like that. When you're telling them and teaching them, they are soaking it in. But you have to know your word. You have to know your word. I know there is some stigma against having children and things like that because everybody's chasing money, everybody's chasing, my success and all that stuff like that. It's not about that. It really truly isn't. And when it comes to that point where, you're solely trying to be for who's bringing what to the table and all this stuff like that, and I gotta get what's best for my son, I gotta get what's best for my daughter and all this stuff like that. Consider that if you don't know the Lord, you're already not making it happen for what's being best for this child. Consider that. So that's my perspective.
Second-rate Christian, I know that's a lie, so I won't listen. Through Christ I'm forgiven, I'm being formed into his image. According to God, I was called from the darkness into his marvelous light. He is near to the brokenhearted and faithful to finish what